Today is Zero Cancer Day, a celebration of the impact you and our programs are having on the men fighting prostate cancer. It's an impact made possible by your generous donations. And on this Zero Cancer Day, your gifts are tripled thanks to a match from our partner Bayer. Today's fundraising goal is $25,000. Donate today and your gift will have 3 times the impact to help men and families in need. Join the urgent fight to end prostate cancer. And tune in right now for Zero Cancer Day, a very special day for you in the prostate cancer community.
Welcome back to our special Zero Cancer Day coverage. I'm Colony Brown, and I'm very grateful you're able to join us as we showcase and celebrate the impact of our programs and activities. Remember, helping prostate cancer patients is made possible by your generous donations. Right now, I'm honored to be sitting here with 2 women who are such a significant part of our Zero family. Mother-daughter dynamic team, Cheryl and Meghan Nickatuck. Welcome to Zero Cancer Day.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Thank you so much for having us, Colony. We're glad to be here.
Absolutely. You are Zero Prostate Cancer Run Walk veterans, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have been coming year after year for 14 years since the beginning of the series?
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us why the Run Walks are so important to our community.
Oh, I just think they're such a great event. First of all, they're a lot of fun. I must say,
Definitely.
when you're there, there's entertainment, the children's race, seeing all the people, they are a lot of fun. And then there's after entertainment and all of that. But I think one of the greatest things about it is it helps us as Team Nickatuck get our friends together, just to be there in camaraderie with each other and be all pulled together and be with other families that are there as well. It's just a nice place to gather together and celebrate all of these men who are survivors. And we do it to honor Paul, who unfortunately is not a survivor, but it still means so much to us. It's also a great place to get information. There's lots of information there. There's lots of pharmaceutical companies and all sorts of things set up, as well as a good time to fundraise. For us, it works out as a great time as Team Nickatuck to raise funds and just get people all motivated and excited. And so it's just an overall great event and experience, I think. And we enjoy going each year.
Well, and you're one of the top teams every year, right?
We'll see what happens this year.
You're bringing on your game. I know it. Well, I know all of this is in honor of Paul and his life. And I'm sure he would be looking down and being so proud of what you all have accomplished. But tell us, Meghan, particularly as losing your father to this disease, what kind of motivates you? Because you're really taking it to the next level, and you have been for some time.
Yeah, I think what really motivates us is that, obviously we lost my dad. So that's a big motivation, is making sure that no other family has to go through what we've been through, especially since when my dad was diagnosed at 54, it was already advanced. So there's twofold there. One, it's not an old man's disease. Young men can get it.
Absolutely.
And the second one is that early detection saves lives, because if he got it detected earlier than when it was advanced, we probably wouldn't be in the situation where we're remembering my dad and doing the race in memory of him, but really doing it in support of him and honoring him instead of in his memory. So making sure other people don't have to experience the same loss that we did is really one of our main motivators.
And I think over the years, there's certainly been men that have been tested as a result of your efforts.
Yes.
I know that you have personal stories where men have told
Yes.
you that, hey, I would have never been checked.
Yeah.
I think that's quite a legacy. So in addition to the Run Walk, we have a great work that we do on Capitol Hill. And you all have been year after year involved in the Zero Prostate Cancer Summit.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that event and why you go to Capitol Hill and share your story.
Yeah, it's very important to go to Capitol Hill. One of the most important things is getting the chance to talk to your senators and your representatives and to have them be aware, have them spread awareness, but also to get the research funding approved. And we do that each year. And We've been successful over the past several years. We keep raising
We're
the
currently
bar.
at what, 110 million?
Yeah, pushing
Asking
for 120.
That's right. Great.
That's right. And the other aspect of it is the actual summit. The expertise that comes to that summit in the form of doctors and specialists and radiologists, all sorts of people that are there with presentations that just give so much information to all the patients and the families that are there. Also, the breakout groups, the round tables, it just gives everybody a great chance to talk to each other, to find out what's going on, and to kind of form friendships, I think, as well. I think a lot of friendships are formed at the summit.
I think one of the commonalities between the Run Walk series and the summit, and quite frankly, probably many of the things and events, because you've been at the tee-offs as well, is that sense of community that comes forth and really making those connections, which you all are a huge part of. So it's great to have you. I'm really excited with you both here today because we have a big announcement. Right this minute, we are officially opening nominations for the Zero Impact Awards. And for those of you who don't know, which they must live under a rock, because Meghan is an Impact Award winner from last year. And I want to show you just a little of what earned Meghan that award.
Oh, hey, it's Meghan Nickatuk on day 10 of Prostate Cancer Awareness Month.
Zero has often said we need more Meghans to help inform men and their families about prostate cancer.
Do you know where your prostate is? Do you know where your prostate is?
And during Prostate Cancer Awareness Month of 2020, we got that wish. That's when Meghan unleashed her creative side and flooded social media with Zero's message.
I'm here to stop prostate cancer in its tracks.
Meghan's Bold for Blue videos didn't begin with PCAM. Back in the spring when Zero's Run Walk series went virtual, Meghan inspired a slew of fundraising challenges when she dyed her hair, and her mom's hair, blue. She jumped into live streaming on Facebook where she significantly expanded her reach.
It's the big day. Mom's going blue. No!
Meghan's passion for raising awareness began after losing her dad, Paul, to the disease more than a decade ago. Since then, she's been by Zero's side as part of Team Nickatuk in our Run Walk series. And she also regularly attends the annual Zero Summit to advocate for research dollars by sharing her story with elected officials on Capitol Hill. Dedicated daughter, creative innovator, and inspiring champion. That's Meghan Nickatuk.
Meghan, I just love what you're doing right now. It is so innovative, and you are using it to inform men and families. It's really great. Tell us a little bit about how you're coming up with these great ideas.
Well, I mean, obviously I'm inspired by my dad. Everything I do is really for him with the prostate cancer. But I mean, along the way, we've met so many great men at the run walks and at the summit and their families. And so they help keep me motivated to keep spreading the awareness, because you keep hearing stories about, you know, oh, if I caught it earlier, if only I knew. So spreading awareness is one of my main goals in doing the videos. And I think doing it in a fun way, because nobody really likes to talk about prostate cancer, especially men. So if we can just kind of make prostate cancer a little fun, or at least get the facts out there so people are hearing them, I think it's, I feel like we're doing good things with that. Especially like you said, we have had some people come up to us and say, you know, thank you. Like, I learned things that I wouldn't have known if you hadn't shared that information. Or, you know, a loved one got tested and now can be treated because of the information that you all shared. So that's kind of, you know, what keeps me going.
And especially in a virtual year. So some of our events have moved to virtual. You all were involved in our very first virtual events last year. Having this live streaming element really helps us connect so that we aren't alone and feeling that sometimes even if we can't be in person. Right. And also in the virtual events, didn't you attend a lot of them last year? And cheer on all of your fellow champions?
We did. And we are again this year. And I think the other positive thing is the Charge app. You can't beat that. It makes you feel like you're part of the event at someone's race, even though you may be walking in your own neighborhood.
Right, because you can share pictures. You have a coach who's talking to you. You can talk to other participants.
And the music is playing. It's fun.
And like we say, like in our family a lot, really what this is our hashtag zero family. So we are a
Love that.
family. Yeah.
We are.
I mean, with all the people that we've met over the years, really, they do feel like family. So it's important that, we get together even virtually and we're supporting them. We're able to support them now, which before there was virtual, we couldn't because we couldn't, we could donate, but we couldn't be at the event. Now we are at the event with them. So that's awesome.
And even with people that maybe you never met.
Right. Exactly. Well, Cheryl, Meghan, you guys are definitely part of our Zero family, and we are so happy that you could be with us for Zero Cancer Day. Thank you all so much. You both are such an inspiration. And I do want to give a shout out to Tara, who is the other Nicotech that does help in this initiative. You guys are a great trio, and we're very grateful. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
And now here's everything you need to know about nominating someone special for a Zero Impact Award.
Zero's Impact Award winners go to great lengths to improve the lives of patients and families who are fighting prostate cancer. Nominations for our 2021 Impact Awards are officially open, and if you know a Zero champion, prostate cancer patient, doctor, or anyone who's making a difference in the fight to end prostate cancer, go to zerocancer.org to tell us about them. Your nominee should be someone who raises awareness, increases research funding, and someone who is helping patients and families get the support they need. The deadline for 2021 Impact Award nominations is November 1st. Winners will be announced at the 2022 Bold for Blue Awards held on Sunday, March 6th at the Zero Prostate Cancer Summit.
Zero Cancer Day is during September because it's Prostate Cancer Awareness Month.
And one of our most important goals this month is to raise awareness about this disease. Remember, knowledge is power. More than 3 million men in the United States right now have prostate cancer. And unfortunately, prostate cancer cases are on the rise this year.
So please share with the men in your life that you care about, your husband, father, grandfather, son, brother, and friend, this important life-saving information.
A man dies from prostate cancer every 15 minutes. Every 2 minutes, a man is diagnosed with this disease.
This is a disease state that can affect anybody. However, if caught early, it's very curable. And I think, my message to everybody is to make sure you get screened, to get checked. Be your own advocate.
Prostate cancer is the most common cancer after skin cancer, and the second leading cause of death among men. Compared to white men, black men are nearly 1.8 times more likely to develop prostate cancer and are more than twice as likely to die from the disease.
Be your own advocate. Talk to your primary care doctors, speak with a urologist, assess your own individualized risk that if you have a family history, if you're African American, if you're above the age of 55, all these things can be considered risk factors that it's worth having that conversation, that a simple blood test and a digital rectal exam could potentially save your life.
Finding this disease early means the best chance of beating it. Early detection saves lives.
So I would honestly recommend everyone to have that conversation with their primary care doctor or with their urologist and to get screened and to get checked early.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jamie Burse, President and CEO at Zero the End of Prostate Cancer. Thank you for joining us here on Zero Cancer Day. This is an important day because it's our chance to highlight the inspiring impact you're making on men and their families who are fighting prostate cancer. Our Zero Drive program is just one example. $300 supports a prostate cancer patient with transportation assistance to get them to and from their doctor's appointments and treatments. Can you imagine the burden that this takes off of a patient who is struggling? Here's what's most exciting about Zero Cancer Day. All donations are tripled. When you donate $100, it becomes $300, and $500 becomes $1,500. Simple math tells you that you've just given a prostate cancer patient a lifeline. And special thanks to Bear for making this triple match happen. And finally, thank you for making an impact on men fighting prostate cancer by donating today.
Here's a staggering statistic. 1 in 8 American men will hear these dreaded words from their doctor. You have prostate cancer. The 2 men who are leading our Zero Cancer Day coverage today know that moment all too well. Tom, let's begin with you. Share a little bit about your diagnosis.
Colony, you said when men hear those dreaded words, and that fits very much into my story. About a little over 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. And the reason why it's indelibly etched into my mind is I was sitting there with my wife, had done the biopsy, was not really expecting any bad news. The doctor came in the office, turned around and looked at me and said, "Man, you've got a lot of cancer in there." And my life froze at that moment. Just hearing those words, it was trying to get your head around, what do you mean I have a lot of cancer in there? From that point, though, particularly utilizing many of the resources that Zero has, I learned enough about the disease to overcome the fear. At that point, I knew I was in control. I was going to be the captain of my ship with the diagnosis with my wife, and we wanted to get the best treatment possible. Shortly thereafter, I had my prostate removed, and I thought that was the end of my journey. Unfortunately, about 3 years later, and this is not an uncommon story, the cancer returned, and I had to have follow-up radiation. And I went through the treatments, the 40 treatments on radiation, and again, sitting down telling my wife, I said, this is it. We beat the cancer. But again, another unfortunate part is about 7 years later, or just a little over a year ago, I learned that my cancer had returned. But that's not bad news when you look at all the advances that has happened in the world of prostate cancer. And I'll say this, and it's really directly because of Zero. I got better information, and because of that, this time I decided to get my treatment at Johns Hopkins. And I have a urologist who I formed a relationship with. And the best part of our relationship is she knows that I'm knowledgeable about prostate cancer, about my options, about clinical trials. So my journey's been maybe one that I would have liked to have avoided, but I'm healthy. My wife and I are looking at this very positively, and we want to have a long life together, see our grandchildren. And I think, as Robert has said before in Colony, the reason I'm doing this, my journey is all about this. I want to make sure there comes a day very soon where those boys in my life, whether they be my sons, my grandsons, are never going to have to hear the words again, "Man, you've got a lot of cancer in there."
Robert, I'm sure you identify with that, and you have your own unique story, though. At the age of 48, you were diagnosed, and also the fact that you were a Black man and had twice the amount of risk for diagnosis and death. Did that enter your mind? Was it on your radar in your late 40s? You're in the prime of your life.
Well,
how did it work for you?
My story is similar to Tom's in that you mentioned the word radar, and I always envision blips on a radar screen. And there was some time ago, back in 2010, I was diagnosed at 48. But I remember previous visits to my doctor, he did the PSA, and he would say, "Hey, look, I'm concerned about your PSA levels rising," but they were manageable at that point. But it got to a level that he said, "Wait a minute, I think you need to see a urologist and get a biopsy done." And sure enough, I did see the urologist, and the results came back that I did have prostate cancer. And so I didn't get the words, "Man, you've got a lot of cancer in there," like Tom, the news he was delivered, but I got a call on a Monday morning, and the doctor said, "I hate to give you this news on a Monday morning." And so it's just different how we all get the results in different fashions and how it affects us. So Monday mornings don't even resonate too much with me anymore. It's like, you know what, take each Monday, each Tuesday as a celebration. And so at 48, 2 daughters, beautiful wife, and I thought my life was over. I had went so far as to figure out who was going to do my burial and where I was going to be buried. And I just went through all of those emotions. And then I remember my wife, who is my rock. she pulled me aside and said, look, we need to get through this. I need you to be strong, and we can be strong together. And so Karen was that rock for me. And I always say we went through the 3Ds. We went through the diagnosis, the data, and then the decision. And so with that diagnosis, we already went through the emotional piece, but then it was about the data piece and finding out what treatment options were available for me. And then the decision to decide which way we're going to go. So I had a radical prostatectomy, followed up by radiation treatments. And so that's been all of my treatments were done in 2011. And knock on wood, I'm still here today. Had a wonderful medical team that did the procedure. And so I'm blessed, and I'll share this quick story. And you may have heard this before, but this is where zero comes in. My wife, the rock that she is, she mentioned to me, she said, you need to be around some other men to support you and just have that camaraderie. And so the day of the Baltimore Run race series, my wife suggested that I go to the race series and just check it out and mingle. And I didn't feel like being around a whole lot of men talking about prostate cancer. So my plan was to go to a coffee shop and stay there for a couple of hours and then go home and give her a report and said, hey, it was great, had a wonderful time. But suddenly, it was raining that morning and the skies opened up and I thought I heard harps and angels singing. And I said, well, you know what? I better go to this race. So I went over to the race, had a great time, met the Zero staff, and there began this relationship with Zero. And that was in 2012, I believe. And we've been partners ever since. Yes. So Zero has played a vital part in my treatments that have been going on for many years and just life in general. So I owe this to my wife, who encouraged me to get out and, talk to some folks. And Zero was there and welcomed me with open arms, and been here ever since.
Well, let me turn the tables. Both of you have been vital parts of Zero's family and making sure men really understand their risk factors. I mean, what I'm hearing both out of your stories is a lot of hope. And that's what we certainly want men to take away today. But what else would be your message, Tom? As we have men and their families listening, what do you want to share with them on Zero Cancer Day?
Colony, I think the main message is we're responsible for our health. We have to make informed decisions. And as Robert said, and I know it's true in my life, it isn't just me. It's the people I work with. It's my wife. It's my children and my extended family. So I think the most important message that I would give to any man is don't have fear about this. I mean, yes, it's a leading cause of cancer-related death, that you can dwell on that. But if you heard in our stories, there's another side to this, which is get the information, find a support group, find other men and women who have gone through this journey who can give you hope, and then learn and make the best decision possible. There are many treatment options out there. There's a lot of information and, unfortunately, a lot of misinformation. Go to a trusted source like Zero. Learn about the disease. Bring your wife or your partner, your spouse, your loved ones in on the decision, and then make the best decision possible. But by all means, don't ignore it. Don't live in fear. We're both living with prostate cancer. And I think you can tell we intend to continue to live with prostate cancer for a long time.
Well, Tom, you nailed it. I mean, it really is about taking ownership. And I think I'm starting to see more men come together and really want to champion their own lifestyle and their health. And so I think Zero's been doing an excellent job at doing that. But it is just, the Zero family is just such a family of love that you can talk about subjects that you never thought you would talk about and share with another group of people. And so the summit and all of the events that are going on around the country, it really gives men an opportunity to really network and be themselves, and again, take ownership of their health outcomes. And I think we're doing a great job. And to the families out there that are supporting these men, we thank you so much for all that you do and all that you do for Zero and with Zero. So I think we're on to something. And at some point, it'll be zero cancer.
That's right. Absolutely. And thank you for such a positive message to share today as leaders of Zero, also generous donors, both of you. Our efforts to support men and families who are dealing with this disease, you know firsthand the difference that the donations are making, and you're putting your money where your mouth is. So Robert, can you talk a little bit about our mentor program and why patients, men, really should be connecting one-on-one and talking about their experience?
Well, what I love about the mentor program is that it is just that. It gives you, there's a source of trained personnel that can help you navigate through this prostate cancer journey. And what better resources are there than to hear it from men who have gone through it, but then also some of the ladies who are also part of that resource in terms of providing information. So it's really important to tap into a network that can guide you through this. And as Tom mentioned, there's a lot of misinformation out there. But Zero over the years has become a trusted source. And so I always refer men to the mentor program because I know when they go there, they're going to get the real deal. They're going to get the information, whether you like it or not, you're going to get the truth. And so it's the program speaks for itself. And I know there are plenty of men who have used the services, and they continue to tell other men. And so I think we've got a good thing here. And please make sure that you make use of that program because it is surely awesome.
Well, and I think one of the things we haven't even mentioned is the whole COVID-19 pandemic. So many men are now finding out for the first time that they have prostate cancer, and yet there's limitations to treatment. There's a whole layer of other concerns that these patients are facing. And being paired one-on-one, I know we've heard firsthand, has been just a lifeline for these men during these extraordinary times of being in a pandemic.
Colleen, I think you've said it really well in terms of whether we're in COVID-19 pandemic times or I don't know if there'll ever be normal times again. But the whole thing is that the greatest enemy of prostate cancer is passivity. If you're a man, there are really no excuses. Whether you can go to a live group, meet with another man in the mentor program, or simply go to the web, look at the resources and connect with someone by Zoom. All the resources are there. It's up to you to take the first step to say, I want to become part of something. I want to learn about this. I want to defeat this disease.
Well, and I'll add to this, to use my sports analogy. I liken it to a boxing ring. When you go to that corner, there are your corner men and women there to help you. And so a lot of times men tend to retreat to the corner and think they can handle this all by themselves. But in that corner, you have a resource of people who are there to help you. I mean, they'll dry you off, pat you off, give you water, all the things that you need out of a corner person. So it is really important that they get that help. And again, Zero provides that for them. And that's, again, what I love so much about the mentor program.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both so much for all you do and your commitment to ending this disease. We certainly couldn't do it without you. And for those watching, our Zero Cancer Day coverage continues this afternoon and through this evening. So stay tuned on all your social channels. For those who have already donated, you're our hero, right, guys?
Yes,
thank you. We appreciate your generosity to go to programs like we just talked about, the Mentor program and others. If you haven't had a chance to give a gift, there's still plenty of time. Please make a donation right now, and you can really make a difference and save a man. We'll be back shortly. Thank you.
Remember, you are needed more than ever. With increasing prostate cancer cases, more men are falling through the cracks. Donating here on Zero Cancer Day is easy. Head over to zerocancer.org/give. You can help provide direct support for a patient in need. All donations today are tripled, meaning your gift goes 3 times as far to save lives.